from this devastating disease. Thank you.
Hey, Brewski.
What?
Fuck cancer, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Mom.
No, what am I saying?
What, this? It's nothing. Really, it's nothing, Ed. It's just, it's just Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Have a good time. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened.
Okay, you little bastards. The time has come. The moment we've all been waiting for. It's the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Alabrewski. Let's go.
You heard the man. Let's do it. Let's get to it, boys. Another fantastic episode. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Alabrewski is forthcoming.
I'm starting to think you're our biggest fan because you say every episode is fantastic. I mean, that's rave reviews.
Listen, I can't say that every episode is a 10, but I'll give every episode like at least an 8. I mean,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're going to sell something, you have to believe in it.
Yes. You know that. Selling used cars before, Brewski?
Exactly. When I was selling cars, people would come pulling up. You know, you come on and say, "Hey, you folks here for the big sale?" And then they'd be like, "Oh, wow, you guys having a sale? Absolutely. Come on, let me show you what we have."
Yeah, the annual sucker sale. So,
yeah. Would you buy a car from Brewski, Steve?
Well, knowing Brewski, yes. Brewski on the lot?
If you've never met him.
That's a really fair question. I don't know. I feel like I would either immediately connect with Brewski or,
Yeah, I know I'd be that guy that Brewski would get me into a car, dude. I know I would be.
Yeah, as long as he's not getting you into a van, then all is well. So
I take that, too. I think, actually, Brewski's had me in a van before.
I have actually. That van was awesome. I was just telling a passenger just the other night about my van. I love that van.
Yeah, you got to get another van. Brewski had like a, the beginning of what was going to be a great project of the, a 70s, rock and retro van, carpet inside, all up and down the walls, that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it had crescent moon-shaped windows and everything.
Yes.
That is straight up 70s. It's unfortunate you can't go near schools anymore, but besides that,
well, we got to trade off,
Exactly.
You saying he's a pedophile, dude?
Anyone with a van is not allowed within 100 yards of a school. Okay, it's on the registration of any van, I believe. I mean, it should be, if not. So,
hey, this is the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Alabrewski. It will be a fantastic episode. We have socials. You can see us there if you just want to watch some clips when you're bored. TheVocalMinority.net. See all our socials there.
Yeah, it's true. We are a good way to kill some time. So, check us out online. We're on Reddit. We're getting a few comments now, so that's cool. It's gaining a little steam. We've done very well on YouTube this past week. We got a few videos that have several thousands views.
Congratulations.
It's really been hitting hard for us as of late, YouTube.
We will. We're on Facebook. We're on the X Twitter thing. Occasionally, I post on Threads still for some reason. Instagram can go bite me. I can't get any traction on that freaking site whatsoever. And, of course, we're on TikTok. And, gentlemen, for some reason, we just got our first ban on TikTok. They removed one of our videos today.
The one you predicted?
No, actually, no. So last week I posted the thing about Elon Musk sharing what I felt was maybe not a pornographic image, but certainly R-rated. And I wondered if that would get us banned or not. And, it did not. It got some views here and there, but no, I posted a new video. Honestly, it's a video I made a couple of weeks ago, and because of my current dating life, I was kind of wondering if I should post it or not. But I decided to go ahead and post it today, and somehow we got banned on TikTok for it. And
they didn't ban the video? They banned us?
They banned the video. So
okay. All right.
Yeah. We're still on TikTok, but they pulled our video, and I already filed an appeal because it's bullshit. I don't know what their problem is.
What's the video?
It's Brewski and I talking about effective forms of birth control. I said that some of these women I'm dating are older, or not dating, but finding on the apps. They're older. Brewski said, hey, menopause is a good form of birth control. And I said, it's a waste of my vasectomy. And Nick admonished the two of us for going back and forth on it. Somehow that got us pulled for community standards on TikTok.
Wow.
There was no swearing, no graphic content, just talking about menopause and vasectomies as birth control.
Okay. Let's think about the people who menopause affects.
Okay.
It's all
Old
Karen.
grumpy women.
There's some effing Karen out there that went and reported us because she's all upset because she's going through menopause right now.
That could be. I wonder if somehow, because it got banned pretty quick. So I don't know if it triggered something in the algorithm or if somebody immediately flagged it. It had like one like and then it was flagged. So, But we're rebels, so go watch it. It hasn't been banned on any of the other platforms yet. But seriously, we got pulled off Twitter once for saying slut. I get that slut is a word. We didn't say anything offensive.
I still don't understand why that's a ban. I see so many things that are worse than that on social media on a daily basis. Yeah. 98% of the shit Trump says is worse than that.
Right.
And slut got us kicked out? I don't get it.
On Elon Musk's platform where he's sharing pseudo-porno images and anti-Semitic rants. And So, somehow that violated the standards. So.
Slut's not included in freedom of speech? Is that the truth?
Apparently. So.
We've been too live crude. That's what we've been.
Yes, and we weren't even complaining about sluts. Steve, in fact, was praising sluts in that clip, saying that I'd like to have a nice slut. A nice slut.
Yes.
I prefer a slut that's also a cutter, because that just makes things a little more interesting.
Yeah. And a little more messy, but,
That's violating community standards. So I'm curious to see if we get, if we win our appeal on TikTok or not. Because that's garbage. We said nothing obscene, wrong, or anything else. And both vasectomies and menopause are effective birth control. So I don't know what they're talking about.
And it's health. I thought we were allowed to talk about health, dude.
Right. I don't know. So anyway,
justice for the vocal minority.
Okay. Yes, we need justice for us, and somehow we broke TikTok today. So go figure.
Headlines: Hot Stack is busy and on fire today. Shall we jump in?
Yeah, a lot of news. Let's go for it.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
All right, here's the deal. There's a lot of important news going on this past week, and I have plenty of articles to talk about. Nick, I know you've got a lot, and Bruce, you've got some too, but we've got to start off with my recurring favorite segment on the show. Do we know what it is?
We are going back to what? A date? What? Is that what we're talking about?
I think it's my favorite segment. It might be Brewski's least favorite segment. Although on this particular topic, I think Brewski...
I love porn.
No, it's not. It's not necessarily porn. My favorite segment is Steve Was Right.
For
Harness.
Yeah. I do understand when you feel good about that one. So go for it. I do,
and I've had many women tell me that's a bad trait I have. But who doesn't like to be right? I mean, come on.
You know what? It kind of hurts me to be right. To be honest with you, I'll just be frank and honest. Like I don't always want to be right. I would like other people around me to be right and show me the way.
Wow. Doesn't that vary on the topic? I mean, there's things you stand up for that is good to be right.
I suppose if it's coming down to social injustice or something like that, I feel good about it. But right. I don't want to explain something and know that I'm right. I would like everybody to, you feel how you want to feel, dude. Just because it's easier for me.
Are you saying you want everybody to be your Peter Frampton?
Maybe show
you the way.
Yes. Yeah. Good one. Yeah. That's exactly right. And I don't necessarily want people to show me the way, and have me believe it, but I would like to see all the different perspectives. That's what I'll say. Okay.
I will tell you, in my former marriage, my ex-wife, whenever I would say you're right, I mean, she would just orgasm on the spot. I felt like, I mean, she to hear that. So in the one in a zillion scenarios where she was right, I would tell her these things because some people need to hear it. Now, here's my thing. I don't necessarily need to be told I'm right, but when people tell me I'm wrong and I am right, that's what I then wanted. But like, hey, come on.
It's an F you, I'm right.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically.
All right.
Okay.
You're right.
So, speaking of dating and social media and all that stuff, let's just do a quick rewind. Jenna Ortega, The Wednesday Dance. This came out like a year ago. And I, on social media, had said that her dance was sexy. And the interweb, especially Twitter back then, for some reason, blew up on me. And I believe Nick did as well, but Brewski had my back. That she was 20 at the time, and I was 47, and I was saying that, the dance is sexy. Wasn't saying I actually wanted to bang her, but my point was that age gap was okay. And I bet that she would have said the same thing. We even tagged her on Twitter trying to get her to respond, but she didn't.
Yeah.
But my contention then was she would tell you that age gap was perfectly fine.
You know what? Can I stop you for 1 second? Just two quick things, Harness.
Yes.
You've already had a Harness I'm Right segment on this very topic.
I know.
Okay,
that was speculation about her dating Johnny Depp, I believe, which I don't know that actually ended up being true, nor was it a thing from her directly saying that.
Okay.
I got an addendum to this.
Okay. And I also would like to point out that I did not blow up on you, because this was not just the topic. It was coupled around you being out in the dating world and thinking that these were okay for you.
No, I never said that I want to date a 20-year-old. I just said that for a 47-year-old to be telling a 20-year-old that she looks sexy, she's an adult. Therefore, that was not creepy of me to say. I was not suggesting I would actually date a 20-year-old.
But you would have. I mean, if the right one came along.
Well, I mean,
date is a really strong word. Now, if we're talking about banging, that's different. But, date, I mean, I don't know, spend the money on a dinner and everything.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Brewski, actually. Like, I don't know. I'm not into casualness, but if I was and a hot 20-year-old approached me, potentially, yeah, sure. I mean, why not? She's an adult. That's my freaking point.
All right. So what did Jenna Ortega bring to your table?
Okay, so Jenna Ortega is in some new movie called Miller's Girl, and there's a sex scene. Despite the age gap between her and the co-star, Martin Freeman, I didn't know this was a job in Hollywood, but the intimacy coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
This is a job on a movie set, apparently.
Yeah.
The intimacy coordinator for this movie, Miller's Girl, has maintained in an interview recently that the new erotic thriller has, it spurred backlash on social media for the sex scene between Ortega, 21 years old, and Freeman, who is 52 years old.
Okay.
Quote here, there was many people throughout this process engaging with Jenna to make sure that it was consistent with what she was comfortable with, and she was very determined and very sure that she wanted to do this.
All right.
Jenna Ortega, okay with a 38-year age gap or something?
No, that's 31, because he's 52, she's 21, so it's 31 years old.
Thank you. So there you go.
An intimacy coordinator actually speaks with both the people that are going to be in the scene privately, goes over what they're comfortable with, what they're not comfortable with, and then much like a fight choreographer for action movies and that sort of thing, the intimacy coordinator actually puts a plan together for the scene, making sure that everybody feels comfortable with what's going on.
Listen, first, this is what we have to dissect, all right? We have to make the understanding known that I would not have a sex scene for free. I would not be okay with it. But if I was paid $2 million, I could get comfortable with that. You know what I mean? So she's felt comfortable because her bank account was being padded. If this was just her personality, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not calling her a hooker. I'm just saying.
You just called her a whore. That is what you literally just did.
Listen,
you said that for money, she'll compromise her sexual values.
I believe what Nikki is saying is that she is being a professional.
Yes.
And she's doing a job. And that she knows that this is part of her job in the movie. And that since she's being compensated, she's just treating it just like any other scene in the movie.
Yeah, another day in the biz.
Tremendous play by Brewski.
You just described everyone at the Moonlight Buddy Ranch a few miles that away. They're all professionals doing a job. They're all adults. So as long as they get paid the right amount of money, they'll take it wherever.
Everybody. That's everybody in this world, dude. Are you telling me that you would not, you wouldn't do it? You wouldn't compromise your sexual integrity for $30 million? You told us 2 weeks ago you would.
I was going to say, I told you 2 weeks ago I'd be gang raped by prisoners for $10 million. So yeah.
You're not a whore.
I don't remember who said it, but the bit about the guy asked the girl, would you sleep with me for $100? And she says, no, I'm not that kind of woman. He says, what about $1 million? She says, yes. And he says, oh, you are that kind of woman. It's just a matter of price.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone's got their price, for sure.
I'm not calling her a whore. I want to be very clear with that. I'm not.
Of course.
I think we've been over the fact that I would allow Jennifer Lawrence to pee on my face.
Yes.
She would not have to pay me to do that either.
That does come up a lot. Yes.
I would do that for free. I mean, I said that as an extreme example.
Yeah, but do you think about that when you're masturbating? I mean, is that that's one of your go-tos?
No.
My point is Jenna Ortega put herself in the sex scene. Everyone said she was comfortable with it. So she's obviously comfortable with perpetrating the appearance of a younger girl with an older guy. And it's become so commonplace in society. So I'm just saying, everyone needs to take it down a notch with the age gap shaming thing.
We do?
So, yes. Wednesday Addams is telling you it's fine. So relax.
Okay.
And as one commentator wrote on here, let's see. Jenna isn't a child. Please relax.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
Now she's 21. Does that make it better?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. You can have your opinion. You can have
say Jenna Ortega has confirmed what I said a year ago, that she wouldn't think an age gap that big was weird. And obviously she wouldn't be doing it in this movie if she thought that was weird or pedophilia or whatever else.
Don't we think that there's a little bit of discrimination being going on here?
Towards me? Yes, I do.
No, towards men in general. Because think about this. When Burt Reynolds was dating Dinah Shore and there was this huge age gap between them, no one said, oh, she's disgusting for dating a younger man. But if it's a guy on the other side of that, then he's automatically a perv and he's disgusting.
Exactly.
And that's
I'm with Brewski.
Cuckoo, dude. I mean, I agree with it all, but that's just the world we live in, dude.
Stop with I agree with it all right there.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Listen, when I was 20, I was dating a 35-year-old woman. No one ever shamed her for banging me, except future women I was with. They always thought she was weird, but I used to get high fives and everything. Like, dude, you're getting the 35-year-old. She was 15 years older. I was 20. She was 35. I mean, come on. So I'm with Brewski. Society needs to calm down and treat men and women equally. Are we not here for equality, people?
Yeah. Here.
Yeah, I agree with it, and so does Brewski.
You're right.
All right.
You're right, dude. We get it. Can we please move on, dude? You're right, okay?
Yes.
You're right.
Okay. You're right, dude.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
All right, let me put my spectacles on, read you this story. I'm going to go in the other direction here. Did we all hear what is taking place in Houston, Texas? No, it's not about Archie Bell and the Drells. This is about Joel Osteen.
Another good modern reference. Archie Bell and the Drells.
From Houston, Texas. Come on, dude. You know what happened in Houston at Joel Osteen's mega church?
Yes. Speaking of equality amongst the sexes, finally a woman does a public shooting.
Yes. There's been a couple now that the women are starting to break into the field.
I'm surprised it's taken them this long with the years of oppression and everything.
Yeah. No kidding. A woman walked into the mega church Sunday afternoon with a long gun, and her 7-year-old son opened fire before she was killed by law enforcement. Officers on the scene. The gunfire left the child in critical condition and another man injured at the time of this story. But we have a death now. So I will tell you this, Joel Osteen, you know who he is. Can you picture his face right now without puking?
I can. And yeah, I guess when I first heard the breaking news that someone was shooting in his church, am I allowed to say what I was hoping was going to fucking happen?
I'm thinking the same thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. And I don't know why. Yeah, but I don't even think it needs to be said, right?
Yeah, one less crazy evangelical pastor wouldn't have been a terrible thing.
Yeah, so you may feel the same or stronger about that after you hear his press conference.
Oh, boy.
Dude, there's so many things in this press conference that kill me. It's just 1 minute long, and we'll talk about it as it closes, okay?
Let's see if I can get through this.
First, I'll thank Chief and the mayor and Chief Pena and all of these men and women did an amazing job. And it's just, you said it, Chief, it could have been a lot worse. Of course, we're devastated. I mean, we've been here 65 years and have somebody shooting in your church. But, you know, we don't understand why all these things happen, but we know God's in control. And we're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased, her family and all, and the other gentlemen. But I don't know, it's just kind of in a fog, but we're going to stay strong. We're going to continue to move forward. And there are forces of evil, but the forces that are for us, the forces of God, are stronger than that. So we're going to keep going strong and just, doing what God's called us to do, lift people up and give hope to the world. I can only imagine if it would have happened during the 11 o'clock service. We were in between services going into the Spanish service. So, if there's anything good of it, you know what? She didn't get in there and do a whole lot worse damage. So we thank God for that He's watching over all of us. And as the chief says, we're going to keep going strong and bringing hope to the world. But thank you again.
Dude, did that play the same way, that ending comment about Spanish Mass, as it did to me?
Yeah, thank God it wasn't all the white people showing up, because that would have been terrible.
My jaw dropped. Now, to be fair, because I just want to be transparent, I know that he was saying that, like, the Spanish Mass has less people in it, and the next Mass the church would have been full. However, I thought the same thing. I was just like, oh my God, dude, did you just say, like, thank God it was the Spanish Mass, like,
yeah,
white people were going to be there in an hour. Like, that would have been awful,
Which, I don't know. Again, it's really weird for a woman to go over to a public shooting. So she must have had some diabolical, visceral reason for it.
The reason I asked you to picture Joel Osteen's face at the beginning of the story is because, he's always got that stupid smile on his face.
Yeah.
And during this press conference, dude, the entire minute, he's got a huge smile, like he's, selling the church. Here we are. And I can't help but notice that he says, our powers are stronger. Like, obviously not. You know what I mean? Like, the powers of God are obviously stronger. Like, first of all, if you believe what he preaches, God's in control of everything, right? So God let this happen.
Yes, he literally just said God is in control and then called it pure evil. So, okay.
Yeah,
and classic religious question, right? Like, if God is in control, why do terrible things happen?
And the most common thing that you hear is like, it's a test, dude. Like, it's a test. We wouldn't know the good without the bad. We wouldn't truly know the good without the bad.
Right. He works in mysterious ways. Which is like a lawyer explaining the Bible. Like, there's loopholes you don't quite understand, stupid person. So
right.
Just give it time,
One thing we can ascertain from this woman doing the shooting here.
Yes, sir.
Is that she was unable to find a babysitter.
All right. Yeah. Child care is a bear out there, dude.
It's really expensive, too. So
yeah. And secondly, I see that they are now considering having metal detectors at Joel Osteen's church.
Really?
So now here's the question. It's in Texas. Everyone there's packing. So now are they going to allow people to have their guns with them when they come in? Or are they going to put a handy gun check at the front door?
Well, Brewski, you just made an excellent point. Where's the good guy with the gun, dude? Well, I mean, why did the cop have to take this person out? Why wasn't there plenty of good guys with a gun?
Well,
hold on, two caveats. One, first of all, those were actually undercover or off-duty cops that shot the woman.
Yeah, they hired a security as for his church.
Oh, was that what? I thought they were just in attendance and they were off-duty cops.
No. He actually has armed security, and they may be off-duty cops, but like
they're hired for it.
But God's in control. Why would he need security guards? I mean, Jesus has his back, right?
Thoughts and prayers. I mean, this is the ultimate in thoughts and prayers, right?
I like the part where he said that this was devastating to our church. Did he mean because the collection plate didn't get to get circulated that day? I mean, how devastating was it really?
The thing about a church like his, yes, the collection plate gets sent around, but most people who are members of that church, I'm sure, have automatic tithing.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that a thing nowadays?
Oh, God, yeah.
That's been a thing for years, dude.
Oh, my God, yeah.
You got bill pay just set up with your church?
But
is it like the Starbucks or McDonald's? So they pass around an iPad and I select 10% today, 15% today? Like custom?
No, this just comes out, dude. This is what if I make $30,000 a year, I got to give 18% of that to the Mormon church to belong to the church. It goes to support the church,
I don't know why I think religion is a scam. I mean, when do scammers ever try to take your money from you, right?
Well, but I need to correct something. It's 10%.
Oh, okay.
So right now it says the LDS Church today teaches that tithing is 10% of one's annual income.
There
It
you
is
go.
left to each member to determine what constitutes income. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. And what is God doing with all that money? He must have a hell of a setup up there by now. I mean, Jesus.
This is, just another shooting to happen now. Once again in Houston, Texas. Joel Osteen.
Thank God it didn't happen during the white service. So that's what I took away.
We were just about ready to get into that white service. Thank God Almighty, dude. Come on.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know. Start the news chant, please.
Come on. News.
It's time for another brewski. This one is a crazy brewski.
So, guys, I have a story here. We're just coming out of the Super Bowl, obviously, and I bring you a story of athletic prowess and heroism that is unmatched.
Wow, that's one hell of a setup, dude. I can't wait.
What did the Kelsey brothers do now?
No, actually, this is a gentleman who is a marathon runner who is called Smoking Man. And he actually runs marathons and chain smokes the entire 26 miles.
Because he's that addicted
miles.
or he's trying to make a statement about it?
No, he just he likes to run.
He likes to smoke, dude. What's the confusion here?
Yeah, exactly. So, but he was recently disqualified.
I'm glad this guy doesn't have a porn addiction, by the way. That'd be a sight to see.
The guy's name is Uncle Chen. He placed 574th out of 1,500 runners, and which is actually really good. I looked up his time. It's a little over almost 3.5 hours.
He beat me when I did a marathon.
I mean, that's really good for a runner.
Yeah,
it'd be depressing to lose to that guy or be 575th. The chain smoking guy beat me. Good grief!
And on top of it, he's 52 years old. He's 52, and he's chain smoking while he's running the marathon the entire time. And
I may have found my new hero, dude. I mean, this guy is fantastic, Brewski.
Yeah,
how does he light the cigarette? He must pause to light it, right? I mean,
no, dude, a windless lighter, or he just keeps them going. You know, butt to butt, light a new one. He's a chain smoker, dude.
Butt to butt. I watched a movie called that last night, actually. Go ahead.
Butt to butt. That is fantastic. 52 years old. Is that, where was that?
It's in China. He was actually disqualified from the recent marathon because they said that the smoke that he was
exhaling
was
toxic.
Other runners. And
the air in China, I hear, is not very clean on its own, so that must be.
Let's talk about. You were just talking about, all the sluts and people that are dating young women being shamed. Let's get out of shaming cigarette smokers, okay? I am so tired of being shamed as a cigarette smoker, constantly shamed, and I don't get it. Let's work on that. That is something that really could make a change in our world.
If you can do your chain smoking while running a marathon, I'll let you off the hook. But
okay,
I think we should put a GoFundMe together. We need this guy in the Boston Marathon or the New York Marathon or something. Like, this is America. We need a chain smoker out there.
Dude. Let's try and get this guy on the program, dude. This has got to be a new goal for the year. We got to get this guy on the show.
Do you think it's the whole pack he goes through over 3.5 hours? Or would you say about half a pack?
I think he goes through a pack and a half. It's 26 miles, so I say smoke a mile, dude, at least.
Chain smoking them. He's ripping heaters the entire 26.2 miles, and he is a hero. He is a champion.
Oh, now you are a champion.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what this guy dies of. Is it going to be emphysema or overexertion, or he'll just get hit by a bus or something? You know?
He's going to live to be 126, dude. I mean, that's how it's going to happen.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Steve Harness.
Yes, indeed. All right. We've got recurring themes on this show. For some reason, Jenna Ortega keeps coming up, but also, of course, Trump, who I know we'll get to. But one of our other favorite targets around here is Elon Musk, because he's made himself a target from repeated acts of public stupidity.
Yeah.
We posted a video recently on YouTube where, the one we were talking about earlier, where he shared the semi-pornographic image. I was saying that as the head of a media company, you're going to lose advertisers, and though you may have a mansion to go home to, you've got employees, you got investors, like you can't lose revenue because you wanted to play with your new toy, which is really why he bought that thing.
Yeah.
On one of our YouTube channels there, someone commented that, Elon Musk, he doesn't care if he loses advertisers. Like, he can't be bought or sold, which is garbage because we've talked about it before. He's trying to sue some of these groups that monitor Twitter and report on anti-Semitism and the 500% spike in the use of the N-word and other things that advertisers don't want to be around. And Elon Musk is freaked out. He's filing lawsuits. Did you guys hear about this Disney thing that happened a couple of weeks ago with Musk?
No.
So Disney found some of their ads being run next to Nazi posts, and they said, hey, we don't want that. So a whole bunch of major corporations pulled advertising off of Twitter as a result, and Disney was one of the big ones. So Elon Musk decided that he was just going to go right to Bob Iger, the head of Disney, and just tell him off. I think maybe he was trying to get him back on, but it didn't go very well. And I don't remember what the expletive was. It was probably the F word, but he told Bob Iger to go fuck himself.
Really?
Yes. Again, this is somebody running a media company. Disney owns half of everything nowadays. So he just told somebody who's got movies, TV shows, merchandise, theme parks, cruise ship, all these people, he told their entire company to go screw off.
And by the way, he did tell him that. And he's also not anti-Semitic. Listen, he doesn't want you at his theme parks. You know what I mean? And that's, Musk, what you should be doing. And when we say you're an idiot in business for sure. Do you have the prowess to be able to run a successful company? Yeah, I think you probably do. But you shit the bed on this one, and you're just stepping deeper and deeper in it, saying like, yeah, you got all these jackasses out there that are like, he can do anything he wants. Yeah, but he can't run this company successfully. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. He gets to go home to his mansion so he can spout off. But this all has to catch up to him at some point. And, stock prices dipping and the value of the company's way down. And so, after this Disney debacle, I think Musk realized he couldn't actually sue Disney. He, I think at one point was threatening them, but he has sued some of these other groups to monitor the website and whatnot. So Elon Musk has figured out I'm going to take my toys and go home sort of way to try to stick it to Disney. Like, you think I can't sue you? Neither of you watched The Mandalorian, right? The Star Wars TV show?
No.
So there's an actor on there. Her name is Gina Carano.
Yes.
She got fired by Disney a while back for crazy post that she was making on Instagram.
She's a former UFC fighter, I believe.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah.
So, the actor is now suing Disney for wrongful termination for being fired for the Star Wars series, The Mandalorian. And who do you think is paying her legal bills to go sue Disney?
Elon Musk.
Yes. Elon Musk called this woman up and said, if you file a lawsuit against Disney, I'll pay all your legal bills. Because he doesn't care if he loses advertisers.
Yeah, and let's just see, dude, because, Trump says that to a lot of people, Giuliani.
Yeah.
You think he's going to actually pay for it? I'd get it up front,
She better. She's claiming sexual discrimination as well. So she's just throwing everything at Disney. And Musk, who hurled an expletive at Disney CEO Bob Iger in September when the company pulled advertising from X, said last year that he would fund legal actions by users who faced retaliation from employers. And as a sign of X Corp's commitment to free speech, we're proud to provide the financial support for her lawsuit, empowering her to seek vindication for her rights that were violated when she made comments on X and other social media platforms.
Dude, he's got a big problem. There was some guy who came out recently, and I can't tell you who it was, but he was talking about the fact that aliens are, up there, and they have already sent some down, and they're claiming that Elon Musk is an alien.
Yeah.
They're just doing some experimenting. I think that's better than thinking he's a human being, because, obviously he is not, and we've got some differences.
And here's the funny thing, too. We've been talking about all this increase in anti-Semitic, material on Twitter that Musk doesn't seem to care about. That is in part what this woman got fired from Disney for. She had posted, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children, she wrote on an Instagram post.
Dude, those are Nazis. They were Nazis. If they were beating them because they were Jewish, it doesn't matter if they had the uniform on. They were Nazis.
You're saying these were annoying Jews. Their neighbors were beating them up, not the Nazi soldiers.
This is just a domestic violence incident, dude. This is just a domestic call. This is not.
Right.
Wow.
So I can't wait to see how this thing goes. But, Musk just spoiled little rich bitch. He's trying to use his money in any way possible to try to hurt a major corporation instead of just, cutting down on anti-Semitic bullshit on his platform or not posting it himself.
He got all hyped up doing it, obviously after the Kanye West thing is when he really started picking up on this stuff. I saw a clip the other day of Joe Rogan. This is the second time I've had to shit on Joe Rogan. And like I said, some of his podcasts I really enjoy. He was talking to Kanye West and he was telling him basically like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with you. And I don't know that I would be taking that medication because like you're a shining star of like for us to get these insights, is not something that I would want to suppress. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
That is like telling the guy standing on the ledge, like, jump, it won't hurt, you're fine.
Right, maybe you can fly. Yes, you're exactly right. And now Elon, he hangs out and sucks the balls of Joe Rogan. And he's a Kanye West fan as a person, if not an artist,
Yeah. I'll tell you too, in a related topic, I've been a big fan of Bill Maher's for years. I think he's funny. He's smart. He's a good progressive liberal, but I don't know what happened to him. He's suffering now from old man on the porch syndrome, yelling at kids to get off his lawn ever since COVID. Fox News often quotes Bill Maher nowadays, and that is a red flag to anyone who claims to be a liberal. That words are now being touted by Tucker Carlson and Sean.
Although, if you listen to Keith Olbermann will tell you going back to when he and Maher were both at Cornell at the same time.
Yeah.
That Maher was even a douchebag back then too.
No, he's always seemed a little smug douchebaggy. We know he's a bit of a womanizer and all that, but and he's good at calling out liberals. But he used to do it correctly, like when we were out of line, and I always applauded him for that. But he just recently interviewed Kanye West because Bill Maher's he's got his HBO show, but he also has this basically a podcast thing. Have you guys seen?
I think it's they just sit and smoke weed and have a podcast.
Exactly. He sits with one guest in this little lounge, and they just smoke and drink and just talk. And often it is interesting conversations, but apparently he just did a 2-hour interview with Kanye West, and he is now refusing to release it because he said, hey, Kanye West is basically a really nice anti-Semitic guy. Like, we had a great conversation, but his anti-Semitism was just all over the interview, and I'm not going to give it credence by releasing it to the public. And I think he should be doing the opposite.
Yes, I think that if you're any type of journalist at all, you should be doing the opposite. Have some integrity, dude.
He's not a journalist, though. He'll tell you that he's a commentator.
But he's doing interviews to get to the bottom of people talking about, so why would you do this interview and then say, I don't like what he said. I'm going to protect him from himself and not release this. It's kind of a pussy move.
Maybe he's thinking that I enjoyed the conversation, but I don't want to see the public see me enjoy that conversation. Maybe that's why he's not releasing it,
Could make him look bad too, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm all for canceling people when they brought it upon themselves. So if he further put his foot in his mouth in a documented interview, that just almost seems irresponsible as a member of the media, whether he's a journalist or not, to just suppress something because you like Kanye West and you don't want him to look worse. It's a similar thing to what Musk is doing. You're just, silence is violence, right? It's the whole, like, if you're going to help him, protect his public image, then what's going to happen next time when the interview is published and people take actions from his words? I just think it's a bad move, Bill Maher.
Yeah, the one saving grace is that Bill Maher is still coming out and saying vote blue no matter who. He's a Biden vote all the way because he won't vote for Trump. So,
did you see him with Joe Rogan, by the way?
Yeah, I saw some of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
Bill Maher basically was debating, like, all right, Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, and Joe Rogan was just like, ragging on Biden, and Trump was just like, Bill Maher was like, I can't let you do this. Like, you're telling me between the two of them, you don't see how crazy Trump is. And Rogan was like, give me an example. And Maher lists like 30 examples. I mean, he knew what he was talking about. And Rogan, I don't know if he fully admitted it, but you could see his wheels turning of like, yeah, I guess Trump is kind of crazy, actually, now that you point all these things out to me.
Yeah, he did not fully admit it, and shame on him for that. But you're right. You did see his wheels turning like, how have you missed this? Because all the things he brought up, I've heard, they've been on replay for the last 4 years. You know what I mean?
And he kept going on this whole Joe Biden lies. He's a liar. I always heard that about Hillary Clinton. And, people would be asked, all right, what'd she lie about? And they'd give one example. And then they'd be like, what else did she lie about? And they would have no other example. There was just one thing they lied about one time that bothered them, and now they're just going to say, Joe Biden lies all the time. I can't give you more than one example, but he lies all the time. Whereas Trump, we've got journalists that have documented thousands of lies.
Need to know news. News you need to know.
Let's go with one of Trump's allies, Tucker Carlson. He's been making the rounds lately. TCN.
Is he an ally or a comrade?
Yeah. Well, you be the judge, all right, in a moment. He was just in Russia, and he sat down with Vladimir Putin. Did you see any of the interview on TCN?
Yeah, I'm an avid watcher. I've seen some circulating clips, but mainly I've seen credible news organizations dismantling Tucker Carlson for letting Putin just ramble for 2 hours and never calling him out on anything.
Yeah. Oh, well, the whole thing, it was, he was a butt boy. And, viewers would find Carlson talking to Putin about, how much he respected him, that type of, he was kissing his butthole. And I don't understand why as Americans that we don't look at that and say, whoa, what are you doing, dude? Yeah. Somehow this has become like, hey, if we can be friends with him, wouldn't that be nice? No, it wouldn't be nice. Not doing what they're doing. If they want to become people that, care about other people and do good things, then yeah, maybe we could be friends. But now, no, come on. That just makes us look crazy. Now Tucker Carlson goes over because apparently he's great friends with Trump and sits down with Putin. And I've just got a little bit of the interview I'm going to play for you. All right.
I just got to ask you one last question, and that's about someone who's very famous in the United States, probably not here. Evan Gershkovich, the Wall Street Journal reporter. He's 32, and he's been in prison for almost a year. This is a huge story in the United States, and I just want to ask you directly, without getting into the details of it or your version of what happened, if as a sign of your decency, you would be willing to release him to us and we'll bring him back to the United States.
I know in America, people don't use the word retarded, but here in my homeland, we still use the word retard. This is how I would describe you. That said, I would be willing to trade him for you, since you're asking so nicely. As a sign of my decency, I would love to have you for dinner tonight. I'll be making an old family recipe called piroshki and cyanide. Do you have anything else to ask me?
No, I think that's great.
So the interview ended there, but that was his final question, dude. Like, will you send this journalist that you've got locked away with me and I'll bring him home?
Did you replace that audio? Is that your AI generated response?
What do you mean?
That was really call him a retard?
No, dude, no. Putin basically, he went on to say, like, hey, you know what? We've shown good faith in the back. We've shown good faith and decency before, and it's never been reciprocated. So there's people working on that, but it'll have to be reciprocated, is basically what he said, which I translated a little.
I see. I thought for the first time I was on the same page with Putin.
You thought he was your comrade all of a sudden?
You are a fucking retard, American. I think that is kind of what he was really saying, though. I think you actually did translate that pretty aptly. So
yes, dude.
Yeah, will you let us take him home?
Can you believe? I was just like, what are you fucking thinking, dude? Like, he's going to send him home with you? Like, sure.
That's hilarious.
It's good old Tucker Carlson. He's been making the podcast round Jones, as of late, had John Daly and Kid Rock on, and they sat down and hammed it up as they drank beers together and stuff. Unwatchable. All I have to tell you about it is Kid Rock plays guitar, John Daly plays guitar, and Tucker Carlson is just melting like a schoolgirl watching them do it. And it is fucking so pathetic. I don't understand what people love about this guy, on the right.
There's just this classic thing that dumb people like to hear their dumb views articulated well from the guy on the TV, and Tucker Carlson and Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh. They've all done that over the years. And so there is no wrong they can do. And, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's so funny to watch them sitting around with has-beens of the conservative media world, the four of them that they could gather up or whatever. I mean, it's hilarious.
Exactly.
And
well,
which,
yeah.
This whole Anheuser-Busch thing, do you have any of the audio for that? Because all of a sudden Donald Trump now agrees with us that we should lay off Bud Light already for partnering up with a transgendered activist.
And yeah, we brought on to the program that Dana White and the UFC teamed up with Anheuser-Busch, and he was getting a lot of crap from UFC fans. And I knew as soon as he came out and said, like, no, I'm with their values, that Trump was on the way.
Yeah, and didn't Dana White say, like, I don't do any promotions for free people. This is America. It's capitalism. So, of course, they're giving me money.
Yes.
So Dana White came out in support of Bud Light, but now Trump has all of a sudden said that the Bud Light ad was a mistake of epic proportions, and for that a very big price was paid. But Anheuser-Busch is not a woke company, woke capitalized for some reason. But I can give you plenty that are, and I am building a list, and might as well just release it for the world to see, so that the radical left, blah, 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 blah. He goes on, let me pull the full thing here. Anheuser-Busch spends $700 million a year with our great farmers, employs 65,000 Americans, of which 1,500 are vets. Where do you think Trump is getting all these statistics from?
Anheuser-Busch.
They don't know exactly.
Well, this is exactly what Dana White sat down and said. You know why I signed up with them? These are my values, and they're the exact same shit, dude.
Right. He says they've raised over $30 million and given away 44,000 scholarships. I actually believe you, Nick, were saying this during the original Bud Light uproar of, do you know how much good they do for veterans and how many programs they fund yet? And not to mention, it's an American company with American employees that you're just screwing over. It's like the Twitter thing, like the head of the company may go home to his mansion, but you're screwing all the people below him.
Exactly. And this is where you get so lost on inclusion. We can have both. We can have a company that does all these things for vets, does all these things for police officers, homeless people, and they can align with the LGBTQ plus community. Right. Like, we could just do it all. That'd be great.
Who knew? Brewski, so what was your theory? Because I have a little follow-up on that.
My theory is that Anheuser-Busch has actually cut him a very fat check to his political action committee.
Yeah, and that is probably a very apt theory. And like we were just saying, Trump doesn't do anything for free or out of the nobility of his heart. So what you just said may in fact be true. But as we know with super PACs, like, it's really hard to trace some of that money. But Politico has reported that a GOP lobbyist for Anheuser-Busch is holding a fundraiser for the former president next month, $10,000 a plate to get into this, for the bid to support his Republican nomination.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're implying that Trump did shady shit with money? Is that what you're saying?
He's a whore, that if you give him money, like we talked about earlier, anyone will do anything for the right amount of money. So Anheuser-Busch is helping raise money for his reelection. So now all of a sudden, everyone should stop boycotting Bud Light.
Come on, drink it up, dude. We got to get these stocks back up. Let's do it.
I honestly do wonder, will they get this memo? Like, are they going to all knock it off already? Because we still hear it in pop culture. We still hear it, bars. I mean, Nick, you told a story over the summer about a dude threatened to shoot you in the face, right? For drinking Bud Light.
Yeah. He told me that you try and drink that Bud Light in this town, you may be shot. I don't know. It's like, oh, okay. This just goes to show you, dude, that this is a different this is the reality show that this has been turned into, because you know what? He's going in with Bush. He's talking about all these celebrities. Like, no president in the Anheuser-Busch, no president in the history of this country has ever made gains by teaming up with certain celebrities, certain companies. Like, this is astonishing, dude.
Yeah, for sure. And just real quick on the topic of, conservative commentators and their whorishness and Trump and everything else. We've been hearing about this immigration bill that was supposed to be a bipartisan thing, but then Trump stepped in and now it's all falling apart because he doesn't want Biden to have a victory.
Yes.
Senator James Langford, Republican from Oklahoma, said last week that an unnamed media personality promised to destroy him for seeking a bipartisan compromise on this immigration bill. Do you think in a zillion years, a Rachel Maddow, a Chris Hayes, any of these people would ever call a Democrat up and say, I will destroy you on my show if you try to do something bipartisan for this country?
No, dude. Are you kidding me? That is crazy.
Some conservative commentator threatened this guy. And who is it? Is it Sean Hannity or is it Tucker Carlson or is it Sean Hannity?
It's got to be one of the three.
Right.
I saw that story and I posted a picture from Seinfeld with the Asian guy at the Chinese restaurant. Give us a name. We need a name.
We do need a name. Why are you hiding, dude? Come on.
Because they're afraid of those people, because they understand the flock follows what Tucker and Hannity say. So,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. He also, though, with everything that was going on with the Super Bowl, he really got involved in the Super Bowl and the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift type thing. By the way, I missed where they endorsed Biden on the field at the end. I didn't see it. Did you guys?
I know. The PSYOP was right. The whole thing was staged. The Chiefs did win. I mean, there was only a 50-50 chance they could have won, and who knew? And I almost wanted Taylor Swift and Kelce to do it just to stick it to them. Like, you guys thought we were going to endorse. So here you go, Biden 2024.
It would have been so funny, dude. I don't know if you guys saw, but Biden tweeted out a picture of him and with lasers in his eyes, and
yes.
He's like, just as we planned.
I saw that.
Well, Biden joined TikTok, by the way. I think that video was his first TikTok.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Even though the Chinese government's controlling it.
Well, did you guys see what Trump tweeted about Taylor Swift after the game?
No.
Yeah. Our former president was tweeting about Taylor Swift after the game. This is what his. A lot of it in all caps. The usual thing.
I signed and was responsible for the Music Modernization Act for Taylor Swift and all other musical artists. Joe Biden didn't do anything for Taylor and never will. There's no way she could endorse crooked Joe Biden, the worst and most corrupt president in the history of our country, and be disloyal to the man who made her so much money. Besides that, I like her boyfriend Travis, even though he may be a liberal and probably can't stand me.
That's probably true. The last part's probably true. Can you believe that?
A classic narcissist to try to glom himself onto anything and everything out there.
Ungrateful.
And
know what the hell he's talking about.
Disloyal. So because somebody signed a bill that was the right thing to do, so that artists get paid properly, now all of a sudden they have to be loyal to you. Like, what the hell? Not everything is transactional.
Yeah, because he went to the Putin school of democracy. Loyalty to me and to me alone, not to your country, your career, or anything else.
I've heard that bill, by the way, isn't all from him. There was something that was signed, but she was rich way before that, dude.
Well, of course, and she still would be rich, and presidents don't, pass bills on their own, of course.
It's just that, the problem is with him is that everything in his entire life, and he learned it from his old man as a kid, is transactional. You don't do anything out of the goodness of your heart or anything like that. You do something because you're getting something.
I think we've had several good examples of that today. So, yeah, whenever Trump endorses something, just know he's getting something.
Yeah, he's just a click off from the MyPillow guy, dude. Okay.
Right.
It's too bad he's not getting something like chlamydia or.
Sure, he's at it.
And leave it untreated.
You wanted to murder him. You wanted him to die.
I didn't say that. I'm not saying.
You just want him to get really sick.
I'm not saying anything of the kind.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what you're saying.
He's not big on people taking medication, and so I'm here to support his freedom to not take any medication when he gets an STD. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, this came out today. You ready for it? ivermectin. Did you guys see this? Ivermectin. Yep. It turns out that all the asshats, and Trump was one of them, as far as I know, that have taken ivermectin during the COVID thing to try and.
This was the horse dewormer that somehow there was a theory that this cured or prevented COVID.
Yeah. 70% of them are having long-term bowel and incontinence, peeing and pooping their pants. They're having long-term issues with incontinence and, pooping their pants, peeing.
That's what happens when you're full of shit. You have long-term digestive issues.
Oh, dude, that's got to be a tough one to take because
I can't imagine a medicine designed to clean out a horse's intestines would do anything bad to yours.
All the people that were jumping up and down during the Super Bowl saw Travis Kelce on the sidelines, go up to his coach and get a little rough. And they all brought that on to TikTok and said, this is what happens, dude, when you got the jab. He's really jabbing out right now. No, that's not the truth, dude. Ivermectin, though, that's going to make you poop and piss a lot.
I hope that they hate him because he's endorsing Pfizer. It's just... Yeah. So humorous. And anytime someone makes comments on our social media stuff about I didn't get the jab or whatever, I'm like, good, please don't. Natural selection, and please do not. Save that for us.
We only begged for a while. At this point, we're good with you not taking it. We're all good.
Yes, you're solving the voting problem all by itself. So,
okay, well, a lot of news today, boys. And The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, a la Brewski, is a podcast. We do a couple episodes every week, and now you found us. So download us, share us, like us, do all that crud.
Yeah. VocalMinority.net. Find us on the social medias and fight for freedom for us on TikTok for our banned video. Those bastards. The Chinese, I tell you.
Justice for the VM. Justice for Brewski. Say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
And we say bye-bye.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Stop.